Hi everyone, so today we're making buns, cupcakes. So what you will need is some flour, just ordinary self-raising flour. Need some baking powder, some sugar, vanilla essence and some butter and eggs. Okay, you can add chocolate chips if you want, you can add currants if you want, you can add whatever you want, but the basis of the recipe stays the same. Okay, so for our recipe you need 100 grams of self-raising flour, we have 100 grams of butter, 2 eggs, you need 100 grams of sugar and 1 teaspoon of baking powder and a little drop of vanilla essence, and of course you need your bun cases. This makes 12 buns. Okay, so let's get started. So going to weigh our flour. Okay, so I've put the flour in. We're just going to put in the sugar. So you need 100 grams of sugar. Now you can put less in it, I would, because they are quite sweet. Okay, no, just a tiny wee bit too much there. Yep. Okay, so we have flour, sugar. You are going to put in baking powder. Okay, so we're going to put a baking powder in. So it is 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Okay, so I have 1 teaspoon baking powder. We are going to put in our butter. If it'll come out. Okay, so butter's in. Going to put in 2 eggs. Okay. Now at this stage, make sure you should say your butter is slightly soft, because otherwise it is quite hard to mix. So you can at this stage mix it by hand. If you have a mixer, hand mixer, blender, use it, because otherwise it does take a long time. So I'm going to pop it in. Okay, I've started mixing mine, so give it a minute to get, so don't put it on full speed as soon as you do it, because the flour will go everywhere. Give it a minute or 2 to blend in, and then I would slowly increase it. I'll come back to you in a minute when it's all done. Okay, I have given it a good whisk. As you can see, it is nice and creamy. Okay, so I've just stopped it because I want to put in some vanilla essence. I have vanilla extract, which is quite thick. I think that might be enough, not too much. Okay, so I'm just going to pop it back down, give it a mix. Okay, at this stage, as you can see, nice and creamy. This is the stage you can add your chocolate chips, you can add sprinkles if you want it inside your buns, not on top. If you want plain buns, this is where you stop. I am going to add some currants, which you see I've opened upside down. So I'm just going to put in just a little handful, or a big handful. Okay. Pop it down. I'm going to pop it on. Just give it a slow whisk just to combine it all. You can do that by hand if you want. That is it actually ready. So I'm just going to grab a big spatula. It's called a spatula. It's a big flat thing that scrapes everything off. It's brilliant. If you don't, just use a spoon or a knife. Blunt one, not a sharp one. Okay, so just scrape most of that off. Okay, I want most of my buns. I want to leave it on the beater. So give it a wee whisk, as you can see. Okay, so I'll take that off and take it over to my buns. So I just put my stuff away. Okay, now I would recommend that you use a dessert spoon and a little teaspoon. I'll show you why. Okay, so I have gone ahead and put it in. I would say a spoonful is plenty, and I usually use a wee teaspoon to scrape it off the spoon. And if you have any left, oops, just top anything that looks a bit low, so put a wee bit extra in with them. You want it to be reasonably filled. You want them too small, because then you want a decent bun. Okay, so I'm just going to scrape my bowl out and just fill any wee bits up. Okay, so buns are all put out. I'm going to pop them in the oven at 180 degrees Celsius if you have a fan, or 200 if it's not a fan oven. Okay, so just open my oven. Pop them in the oven for 15 minutes. Okay, I'll come back to you whenever they're done. Okay, just taking them out. So just touch them, make sure that they feel reasonably firm. They're not going to be all squishy and things like that. If they're not, sort of feel like there's a wee sponge spring to them, pop them back in for an extra minute or two. If not, pop them out, put them on a cooling tray, let them cool. Let them cool before you eat them, definitely. Okay, enjoy.